teenage boy.
Yeah. I mean, it's all the dudes who would join like fucking video production, whatever class. It was like AV club dorks who thought they were funny. Probably like budding comedians.
That's a true nightmare thought.
And like the odd like guy on the football team who joined it because it was like an easy class, and he'd just stand there and be like and read like something really monotonely.
I took like a video production course, or I tried to as an elective, and I went to one class, and I looked around me and I said, I hate every single person in this room, and dropped the class because I was like, no, I can't do a semester of this.
Basically, I cannot.
That is not a thing. I cannot handle it. Cool, gonna do another study hall. And now, all right, so we did the walk.
Like barely made it into this episode.
Listen, it's because I'm steering this ship, so we are really just not staying on course. Imogen wants to befriend Fiona.
Yeah.
So, which I think
we're
makes
in like
sense.
Science class,
yeah.
right?
So Imogen wants to befriend Fiona, which I think makes sense because Fiona gets along with Eli. And I don't know. I'm now, as this episode unveils, I become very endeared towards Imogen, and I start to really get it.
Yeah, same.
So Imogen wants to befriend Fiona, but Fiona's being kind of a dick about it. And she's like, oh, I promised that girl over there that I'd sit with her. And Marisol's kind of being a pal.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, come over here. I'll be so mad at you if you don't sit with me. And then Fiona and Marisol are like chit-chatting, and Marisol says something shitty about Imogen. She like calls her a freak or something, and I was like, meh.
Yeah.
I don't care for that.
Marisol is the worst.
The worst. And Connor's back.
Oh yeah. Connor's back.
Connor is back. And
Woo.
and
as we were told.
Yes. And he's like, you know, why aren't you sitting with Allie, to Claire? And she's like, we're not friends anymore because she, like, sucks, whatever. She, like, made out with my boyfriend. And he's like, oh, then who's your best friend now? And he had this face that I was like, he wants her to say him. And she did not take that bait. And she goes, I guess Jake. And I'm like, that makes me sad. That makes me sad. Like, your boyfriend shouldn't be your best friend. Like, they can be your friend and your good friend, whatever. But, like,
they can be, like, I'm marrying my best friend. He's my best friend. They can be your best friend, but also, like, have other friends.
Have other friends.
He shouldn't be your only friend.
No. Absolutely not. And she has no other friends.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. I don't know.
Because, like, she hasn't hung out with Adam in a while. And the only time she ever hangs out with Adam is when she's complaining about something, which is like not a friendship.
Honestly, if I was Adam, I wouldn't want to be Claire's friend either.
Me neither. Although I don't know why he'd want to be Dave's friend, but that's a different issue.
A whole nother scenario. Let's be real. Also, what's going on with Dave? Anyway.
Yeah, I don't know.
Dave hit puberty, and it's just been a real train wreck. But yeah, so
he had sex, and so now he's all different. Now I guess.
Hashtag maybe it's different. So yeah, no, she's like, Jake's my best friend. I'm like, oh, Jake's your only friend, and that's a real bummer. And then we're with Maya, who I love.
And this was when we're in band?
No.
Oh.
She is in the hallway.
When she meets Zig?
Yeah, she is in the hallway.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Zig comes over, and he's like, pretend I know you. Pretend you're my girlfriend. And she's like, what? And he's like, save my life. And so they do that, basically. And it's like a flirty thing, and he introduced himself. And I don't remember his last name, but I wrote, cool name, flirty guy.
Yeah. Zig something.
Zig something.
Zig. Oh, it's Zig. Oh, no, I don't remember.
I don't remember.
No.
But whatever. He has like one of those cool guy kind of names. And he asks her to go to the Dot. And he's like, there's this place called the Dot.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, anytime anyone on the show tries to pretend that they don't know what the Dot is, I'm like, you know it's the only thing in this entire town, right?
Yeah. And
you
then...
go to the Dot, or you go to the like Vespa store. Like...
Or you go to Above the Dot.
Above the Dot. These are all of your options.
Or freaking, what's that club? That shitty club that Fiona goes to. What did we call it?
Oh my god. Oh god. What is?
I don't remember what it's actually called, but
what the hell were we
had like a weird name for it.
I can't remember.
It's already lost from my brain because I never want to think about it.
Me neither. Anya's dumb club,
like sweaty basement club.
I've already forgotten its existence.
T-shirt time club. I don't know. Ed Hardy,
JTL, or GTL rather. My bad. Let's see.
So then, is this when she goes into the band room and then fucking Tori and Tristan? Okay,
sorry. There's a lot to unpack here. And then we are with Fiona, who is talking to
Katie and Marisol. Being all social climbery.
Yeah, and they're like telling her about how there's a lot of rumors about her. And she's like, some of them are probably true. Unclear. I don't know. That stuff happens. Ew. And then is it Katie or no? Marisol refers to Katie as her BFF. She's like, we're BFFs. And I was like, who says BFFs? I don't enjoy that. I did not care for that.
I don't know. It's high school. I would give that a pass in high school.
I won't. No, thank you. Disagree. And Fiona's like, I'm gonna throw a party, I guess, because that seems like a good plan.
Oh yeah.
She's like, I'll get it catered. My mother will foot the bill. I'm like, I guess
she's not even gonna be there.
I guess this is a good way to purchase friends. Whatever.
Yeah. That's kind of Fiona's whole thing.
That is a true fact. Do you remember when she literally bought Holly J's time?
Basically.
It was a weird arrangement.
Yup.
Yes. Okay. Now we're in band.
And
we find out that Maya is an award-winning cellist.
Yes. And we also meet Tori and Tristan.
And apparently
Tori is, I guess not Angie, but it's the actress who played Angie.
Yes.
She's improved.
She has. She's gotten much better as an actress. Proud of her.
Also, again, missed opportunity to not just make her Angie, but
But then they'd have to bring Joey back, and that would be a whole thing.
She could have lived with Snake again, like Connor. I don't know.
That he's basically just opening up an orphanage at that point.
Yeah. But yeah, and then we learn then they, I don't remember what they say, but they're like, oh, Zig, meh. And they give her like the stink eye because they saw Maya talking to Zig, I guess.
Yeah. Because apparently like Zig broke Tori's heart or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's just like attitude happening, and that's generally the gist. And then Fiona is walking and Eli approaches her, and because he hears her on the phone, he's with Imogen and he hears her on the phone
talking about a party,
talking about like planning the party, and he hears her on the phone and he's like, party, what's happening, blah blah blah, and she's like ditching him basically, which is rude.
Yeah.
She's with Imogen and he's like, I can't go anyway, I have a spin class,
which is hilarious.
Like, I love that Eli is suddenly very into biking in all forms. Also, like, anytime someone that you don't expect does spin, it like brings joy to my heart. Like my dad, it was like 5 years ago, so he was like in his early 60s, got like really into spin for
really?
It was very strange and out of character, and he got like really into spinning for like a summer.
That's hilarious.
It was so funny. Just like, it was like 5 years ago, and just like I would get random texts about spin class.
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, okay, Dad, my like Vietnam vet dad, like, what are you doing?
But it's for the endorphins.
Yes.
The dog is just climbing on the computer.
She's just a real nut. Can you sit? There we go. Now she's in my lap and she's happy again. And Joy is back in her tiny little doggy.
But he's like, I have spin. And does he say it's because like endorphins and
I think he
stuff?
does, yeah.
I don't know. And then he's like, but Imogen would like to go. Like, hint, hint.
And
which
Imogen,
I guess they're just pals now? Or are they more than pals?
No, they're pals.
Yeah, they're just pals.
Because they had that conversation when he was doing all of his mea culpas.
Yeah.
So they're like pals now. But he's like, you should invite Imogen. Hello. And Imogen totally picks up Fiona's no invite signal and is like, I don't think Fiona wants me at her like cool kid party.
Yeah.
And Eli, like, I don't know if he's just like laying on the guilt or like just genuinely doesn't think that Fiona can be like such a shitty, shallow person.
Yeah.
But he's like, no, Fiona would never do something like that to you.
Yeah.
She would never ditch like her friends for like cool kids. Why would she not invite you?
I feel like he's being facetious.
I don't know. It seems like genuine disbelief because he and Fiona have such a good relationship.
I guess that's true.
Like she's never like she's always like helped him. She's never steered him wrong. She was the first person to forgive him, like with almost
true.
You know, like his relationship to Fiona is very different than I think a lot of people's relationship to Fiona.
Yeah.
So I feel like it would genuinely surprise him if she was like,
I guess that's true. Yeah, and then Fiona kind of gets backed into a corner and is like, okay, fine.
Yeah, she totally caves, and then Fiona's and then Imogen's like, oh, I'm so happy. I always really wanted us to be friends, and it's really sweet. And then they're talking about like Fiona's rehab and how like it made her like readjust her like priorities and like made her better. And Imogen goes, maybe I should go to rehab.
Yeah.
And then Imogen is she does some, I don't remember what she does, but she has some sort of like very theatrical dramatic reaction towards the end of the scene, and they just like stare at her blankly.
I do not remember that.
But I'm finding myself to be more and more endeared by her and her weird dramatic flares.
Same.
Like, I get it. Sean, I apologize. Okay. Moving on. Jake and Drew are friends now. And Drew and Owen are being real gross and being like, you live with your girlfriend. Are you guys banging?
Yeah.
Basically.
Bleh.
And Jake's like, no, what? Bye. And Claire comes over.
Well, then Claire comes over. And they're like, okay, we gotta go. And then she's like, what were you guys talking about? And then he tells her. And then is this when she's like, well, I always thought I would wait until marriage, but maybe I don't have to. Maybe we should talk tonight or something
she's
like
let's
that.
talk. And he's like,
okay.
Because he's a teenage boy.
Yep.
And that is generally the gist.
But also barf.
Yes. And Marisol and Katie are super mean girls.
Oh, totally.
And it's obnoxious because, honestly, undeservedly. They both kind of suck as humans.
They are terrible.
But Fiona is like, Fiona needs to be better. I'm like so mad at her throughout this whole thing. And it's just like, ugh, it's super annoying.
Her without Holly J is not a good look. She's like panicking and is like kind of going back to like social climber ways.
Yeah.
And like wants to align herself with who she sees as like the strongest group.
Pretty much.
And it's not great.
But she does tell them that she had to invite Imogen.
Yeah.
So she's like, think of it as a social experiment.
Yeah.
Which, not much better.
No.
But then Katie... Because the thing is, like, I feel like Marisol brings out the worst in Katie.
Oh, totally.
Because then Katie, like, turns around and is such a good sister to Maya.
I know.
Who's, like, dealing with, like, these two people in my band class are like, this guy that you like is a real jerk. And I'm like, he's really nice to me, though. And Katie just, like, gives her sisterly advice.
Yeah. And she's like, you should talk to him about it. I don't know. Something.
Pretty much. And then we're at the party. It hasn't quite started yet. Fiona is...
Imogen gets there early so they can get ready together. I think she had when she invited Imogen, she was like, you should even come over early and we can get ready together or
exactly,
something.
Which I thought was her being nice, but now I realize is very much ulterior motives.
Yeah.
But Fiona does have a funny line, like... Right before Imogen gets there, she's talking to the caterer because the caterer put the sushi out too early. She goes, I'm trying to make friends, not poison them.
Yeah.
Which made me laugh.
And then Imogen gets there in her crazy outfit. And then Fiona's like, actually, why don't you borrow something of mine?
Because she just wants to make her look more conventional.
And then she straight up is like, I mean, yeah, don't give these girls another reason to make fun of you, kind of, basically.
Yeah.
But, I mean... I kind of appreciate how she's being slightly transparent with Imogen about the situation, but it doesn't make it less shitty, I guess.
Agreed.
Like it could be more. She could be being more shitty, but she's still being shit. She's just being less shitty than she could be. I don't know if that makes sense.
It makes sense.
But yeah, and so yeah, she's like, borrow some of my clothes, whatever. And then does the party start now?
No. Now we are with Claire, who's talking to Jake, and she's like, I'm ready for sex, but I need to make sure I'm ready. We have to do this quiz.
She's like, let me grab the magazine. And I'm like, ugh. If you need to consult a magazine to figure